guys can grab a seat. We know that there are approximately 4,700 children in foster care in the state of Arkansas today. These kids could be sitting next to your kids at school, riding bikes down the street of your neighborhood, walking next to you down the aisle at the grocery store, or even sharing the pew with you at church. These children, due to circumstances out of their control, have been separated from all that they know. Confused, lost, and scared, 4,700 children in our state are looking for hope. This crisis seems overwhelming, but we know that when it comes to giving hope to these 4,700 lives, every church has a part. Tonight, sitting here in this room, we can look around the state and see 5,600 Christian churches in the state of Arkansas. And in every church, every family has a piece. There are 868,503 Christian families in the state. And in each family, every person has a purpose. There are 1,405,019 people in Arkansas who profess Jesus Christ as their Lord. The truth is, every child has a promise. If we look at these 4,700 children and youth in foster care in Arkansas today, that would be enough to fill this auditorium and empty it again. Look around at the size of this room. And in your mind, think about it. Empty it again and fill it again. And fill it again. And fill it again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And again. Did you hear that? Do you feel that? If we took each of the 4,700 children and youth in foster care in Arkansas and we were to put them here, we would need 12 of these rooms. The reality is tragic. But the answer is clear. There is a way forward. And it's this. Every church has a part. Every family has a piece. Every person has a purpose. And every child has a promise. We believe that God has a plan. Tonight, like I said in the beginning, you're going to hear from all kinds of people from every different background and walk of life. We're going to hear firsthand the peace and purpose of a family who answered the call. We're going to see God's promises fulfilled as we look at the impact a family can make through the words of a young lady whose own story started in foster care. And tonight we're going to see what this actually means.
Hello everyone, I'm Allie Graves, and this is my story. I was born in Galveston, Texas, on the island, on January 30th of 2002. My birth mother could not care for me for some unknown reason. She left me at the hospital. My biological father tried to take care of me, but he had his own load of problems, drugs. On my 3-month birthday, he left me in Texarkana at a church with someone that he had never met, and he never came back. I spent my first year and a half of life with the Graves family because April Graves was the lady that I was left with at the church. The Graves family was my safe haven, the reason that I have secure attachment. Remember this date, June 28th. On June 28th of 2003, when I was only 17 months old, this security came to a screeching halt. A judge who didn't know my situation at all ordered that I be placed back with my biological father's family, and I entered into a cycle of generational, consistent, horrible abuse and neglect. It was a life that no child should ever have to hear, think, or experience. Love was completely absent from my life for exactly 4 years, the first 4 years of my life. And then, what was the date again? Do you remember? June 28th. Exactly 4 years later, June 28, 2007, I was removed from this situation. And I was taken to the Children's Advocacy Center for a forensic interview. And then right after that, I was placed in foster care at the age of 4. The Graves family found out that I was in foster care, and they dropped everything. They had 3 biological boys at the time, and they began to diligently pray to have me back in their home. My first visit with them was in a place called the Rainbow Room at CPS. It's the first truly happy moment I remember of my childhood. I knew at that moment that they were my family. They truly loved me because they acted on that love, and I see it, and I saw it, and I felt it. Just before I started kindergarten, I moved back in with the Graves family, and I learned what it meant to be loved, secure, and adored. I was finally safe with the Graves once again. A year later, when I was 6 years old, my adoption was finalized and my name was changed to Allie Grace Graves. Due to the love that I received from my forever parents and siblings, CASA workers, and church family, I finally found security and comfort and strength for the first time in my life. At age 7, I was gifted the courage to face my abuser in court and share my story with the jury, who to me was just a room full of strangers. My abuser was put behind bars for over 300 years, never to hurt another child again, due to my bravery and willingness to share my story at 7 years old. However, the consequences of his act didn't fade away as I grew. So as a result, I pour into others. I give hope where I was given hope, in faith and love. Daily, I remind myself that I am not a victim. I'm an overcomer, and that's something that I have to work on every day. Genesis 50:20 is something that was said to me a lot growing up. You intended to harm me, but God will use it all for good. I know that He brought me to this position so that His will could be accomplished in my life through showing His love to other people. And then 1 Peter 4:10 says that each of you should use whatever gift that you've been given to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. One of the gifts that God has given me is a voice. Ironic, because before I didn't have one. Whether I'm leading worship or singing to entertain or speaking like right now, I know that God can use my past, my present, and my future to show others the difference that His love can make in their lives. And so today, I'm a deep thinker, determined, trying to grow in trust with others, and I'm so loved, and I'm 20 years old. I'm a sophomore at Ouachita Baptist University. Because of the grace of God and my willingness to serve and share this redemption story, my undergraduate degree is fully funded. I've also had the blessing of serving as a title holder in the Miss America organization for the past several years, which I participate in because of this story and that only. Last time, what was the date? June 28th. On June 28th of 2019, I was crowned Miss Texas Outstanding Teen 2019. I got to represent my state and travel for 2 years because of the pandemic and share this story with thousands of people. I used my social impact platform, What Love Can Do, to share my story and raise awareness of the epidemic of child abuse and the huge need for foster and adoptive families with thousands of people. On June 26th of this past year, 2021, I crowned a new Miss Texas Outstanding Teen, but the mission and work of What Love Can Do will continue on until there is more than enough families and resources for children like me who've been affected by child abuse and neglect before, during, and beyond foster care in every state, starting with Arkansas in the United States. My biggest blessing in life, in closing, is showing others, no matter their circumstances, 3 things. That God is faithful to perform great works. His grace is enough to cover your circumstances. and his plan is perfect. I always love sharing this story. It's very refreshing to me, and to share the redemptive power of God's love. I'm so blessed by the call and for the great work that's being accomplished. No waiting children in foster care in Arkansas, and their mission to equip and encourage the Christian community to provide a future and hope to our most vulnerable citizens. At one point in time, I was one of those, our children.
Everyone is called to do something. We may not all be called to adopt, we may not all be called to foster, but we're all called to do something.
You may desire to be a foster parent and you may receive that blessing. However, there are just a number of other ways that you can be involved.
We're not foster parents, we are support family for a foster family, because sometimes we forget that the foster mom and the foster dad need just as much support at times as the foster kiddos.
Took meals over when they first got their placement, and then we would have date days with her.
Do you remember the time that you called me from work and you're like, Taylor, 2 families just brought us meals for dinner tonight. Why?
You're going away for a weekend, being a part of the family, going to the lake, picking up the kids whenever they need someone to transport them, or just watch them for a few hours or for the weekend.
We've had beds dropped off on our front porch. We've had furniture moved in our house when we needed to make space real fast. All the support. We love it, and it really lets us keep serving kids.
I got certified as a trainer, and I started to train. They asked for 2 weekends a year. I did usually one in the spring, one in the summer, one in the fall. Every weekend that I trained, we saw God move in amazing ways. We saw families stepping up to serve. We saw me being able to use my talents, and it was refreshing. I would come home and I would be tired, but I would just feel God's peace and His joy.
Every church has a part to play in solving the foster care crisis in our community.
We've done this with diaper drives, as well as volunteering and also providing tangible assistance to the foster homes in our community through the call.
We have a prayer team of about 40 people. I get to see how the community joins together, donates funds, donates prayers, donates items for the call mall, and all the blessings that our community bestows upon these children and families.
We have been blessed as much as, if not more, than anything that we've ever given up.
I simply believe if you take care of God's business, He'll take care of yours.
Look for your opportunity to fulfill James 1:27, to serve widows and orphans in their time of need.
Every church has a part. Every family has a piece. Every person has a purpose. And every child has a promise.